Okay, so we have what we wanted. We have ourselves a Game 7. So my question to you, Cece, what was your takeaway from this Game 6?
Well, first of all, we have to try to recover from a historic Game 5. And how do we match that type of excitement and drama? It's really hard to do. It was really back to what postseason baseball is about.
Yeah.
Good pitching, the crowd's into the game. Good pitching is going to be better than good hitting. So that's what we've seen. Also, what we saw was a huge dip in the temperature. Like the temperatures in L.A., they weren't as hot, but basically like 30 to 40 degrees less. So you knew that the ball wasn't going to be flying out of the ballpark. It was going to be a pitcher's night. So in that, it's really hard from game number 5 to expect that in game number 6. But this is a classic playoff baseball game. Good pitching, low scoring, good decisions, questionable stuff by the manager.
Right.
That's probably my biggest takeaway.
Your point about the weather's important. There should have been, almost was, a 3-run shot to break this game open. Any other night in Los Angeles this whole postseason, that would have been a 3-run shot. Every game in Houston this postseason, that would have been a 3-run shot. Instead, it ended up being a sac fly to the warning track that kept the Astros in this baseball game. But my biggest takeaway from last night is we deserved the Dodgers to win. And by we, I don't mean Fox. I don't mean Dodger fans. I mean America, baseball fans. Because what we have had in this series, let's just recap quickly Game 1, Clayton Kershaw is dominant. Gives himself a chance to kind of change his postseason narrative. Game 2, Kenley Jansen and the Dodgers bullpen, which had been untouchable, blows the lead in the 8th and lead in the 9th. Game 3 was a regular baseball game. Game 4, you have 5 runs in the 9th for a Dodger victory. Game 5, one of the greatest baseball games we've ever seen. Last night was good. It was interesting. It was close. It was compelling. But it was, like you mentioned, a compelling baseball game, which now gets us to Game 7. This series has had 2 classic games, 2 really interesting games, and 2 regular baseball games, and now we get to a Game 7, and I'm so excited for it.
The Dodgers took a gut punch. We all called it a legitimate gut punch, right? And came back and played Dodgers baseball, right? So I would say that Game 5 was more Houston baseball. A lot of offense, a lot of scoring.
Ton of home runs,
doing what they did all regular season long. Then the Dodgers came back and said, but hold on a second. Watch us. Watch our run prevention. Watch what we can do. Watch our pitching. Verlander went six innings of 2-run ball, which should have been good on any other night, but not when you play Dodgers baseball. And that's what they did. And give them some credit for coming back with their backs up against the wall, playing with their crowd under their alliance and being able to pull
They
this
did
one out.
win, but it also comes with criticism. Now, I'm not one to typically criticize the coaches or the skippers, but Dave Roberts and what he decided to do with Rich Hill in the bullpen, pulled him out after 4 2/3, and put more stress on that bullpen. So now yes, they had to win the game. But now what do they have in tonight's game?
Right. I mean,
do they have anything left?
They had Kenley go 6
in
again.
Getting it tied up at 3-3, yes, good job, Dodgers. But now, who do they go to? If they need middle reliever, they need long reliever, what do they do?
I think I know the answer to that. Because you're right, they had Kenley Jansen go 6 outs again. They pulled out. Rich Hill had pitched well, and they pulled him out before the end of the 5th inning, and he was not happy about it. He took it okay coming off the mound, and then he went to the dugout and started throwing stuff around. But what the Dodgers hope tonight is to use 2 pitchers, Darvish and Clayton Kershaw. They hope Kenley Jansen is not needed. They want to do what the San Francisco Giants did against my hometown Kansas City Royals a few years ago in their Game 7. They got, I think, 3 innings in that game, maybe 4 innings from their starter, and they said, hey, Madison Bumgarner, our stud pitcher, the guy that carried us here, take us the rest of the way. He did that, and the Royals stranded the potential tying run on third base. You mentioned, CC, the managerial decisions. There was one managerial decision Dave Roberts didn't make that I want to give him credit for. He didn't put the bunt on. All the old school baseball guys, you have men on first and second. You have nobody out. John Smoltz.
The announcers were saying.
John Smoltz has been a revelation for a lot of America that doesn't watch a ton of baseball. How great he is.
He is very good.
John Smoltz is, all the credit Tony Romo's been getting as a color commentator, John Smoltz has been deserving the last few years. But my guy Smoltzy, he's like, listen, this is a spot where you bunt. This is a spot where you bunt. This is a spot where you bunt. You got to bunt here. You got to get, it's different in second and third. Dodgers said, we're not giving you the free out. We're swinging away. Instead of getting 1 run that inning, they got 2 runs that inning, which helped Chase Verlander.
Yeah, but Smoltz also, to his defense, he's a National League guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what he's done. It's the way he's been taught to play the game. So in giving him some type of credit, I like the fact that they did swing away. And as you like fantasy football, you like fantasy, you like to go against the grain of the percentages. And on occasion, it's really the right time to do it. And that was the right time.
Wouldn't Clayton Kershaw love the opportunity to rewrite the narrative, to be able to kind of dictate the way things are going to be written and said about him moving forward? Any
athlete that has that kind of asterisk on their career, either being, I haven't won a championship, I'm not a big-time player, I'm not clutch, I'm not you want to get in that situation so you can change the narrative. Right. And Kershaw has been one of the best that we've seen. This is a perfect spot for him.
Perfect.
You're totally right. But here's the thing, and this is where sports and sports commentary and myself and the people that do what we do are wildly unfair, especially the people who didn't play the games. We're even extra unfair. How Kershaw pitches tonight is important to whether or not the Dodgers win, obviously. Assuming he does pitch, I would imagine he'll be the first guy out of the bullpen. But the reality is this. If the Dodgers win the World Series, no matter how Clayton pitches tonight, if he does get to play, that monkey is off his back, and everyone focuses on his Game 1 performance. Well, if they lose the World Series, even if he pitches well, everyone will focus on the Game 5 performance. Like, we are not going to be fair with our analysis of Clayton Kershaw.
When you look at the numbers, though, Nick, he doesn't pitch as well, but they win.
They win.
The Dodgers do win. So the narrative is that, no, he can't pitch at all. And the team, when they need him, he comes up, small. No, he doesn't pitch as well as he normally would pitch, but the team typically wins most of those games.
They've won 8 of his last 10 postseason starts.
And
I didn't want to steal your stats, but.
Darvish is due for a better outing than he had last time, too.
Correct.
So
and the Astros on the road have been a simply different team this postseason.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.